Ashe. Ashe and Grand Rising once again to you all, my very beautiful people. Yes, you, my highly enriched melanin people. You, the Earth's original. Don't forget that. Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow Africans. It is I, the Mystic Philosopher. And yes, it is evident that I'm still here with you on this side of reality. And welcome back to the Mystic Peace, talking again on the 15 minutes with I, the Mystic Philosopher. And this is episode 52. Woo! Now, the main topic of these series and talks, as you know, is stress on the mind, or more correctly, the impact that this thing called stress has on the thing that we humans call mind. And bear in mind also, I'm talking the enemy's language, the adversary's language. Anyhow, and that from I, the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, the solution to this problem, this disease called stress, can or it may be found in and by understanding, understanding and overstanding the want equation. And the want equation goes like this: want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And also by putting into practice the knowledge that is gained, that can be gained from this profound equation. And the quote that I've been using and have been using to illustrate and to make my points is from the 23rd Psalm and verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And again, this is from the Adamic race history and holy book. Now, in today's episode, which is episode 52, yeah, I'll continue answering my listeners' question, one of my, awakened listeners' question. And just to remind you of the question, it said, and I quote him, "Good morning, my brother. So, if one wanted to learn how to use our native language, what is it? And how can we learn and how to use it?" Unquote. So, I've been telling you a lot of things since I've been starting these talks, which started out quite casually. Once you ask me a question, I'm a deep thinker, and I'm gonna be, I just can't just regurgitate or try to, regurgitate things. I have to think about things. And the ancestors them inspire me. Then I can speak to you. So far I think that I have told you enough about sheep. If you watch the previous episodes, I told you enough about sheep and their nature and their characteristics. And by now you should know almost all that there is to know about sheep, and whether or not you are a sheep or whether or not you are either mischievously, maliciously, rightfully, fairly, and reasonably called a sheep. Now, to sum it all up, we know that sheep are idiots, are dumb fools. Yep. Now, let's dig a little bit deeper for the answer to my brother's question. By now, let us look at the characteristics of lions and see what we have with them, what we have in common with them, and as compared to the sheep. Now remember that it is by their fruits that is how we know them, and it is by our fruits, meaning how we behave and live our lives, that is how we know whether or not we can be fairly and intelligently compared to lions or to sheep. Okay. Now, and in doing so, digging for the answer, please let me quickly and briefly tell you who and what lions are in their natural state, and possible you will see who and what we are in our natural state, or at the very least you will see you will see who and what our ancestors were when in their natural state, and from whence, and as such from whence we are from. We are not descendants, if you know yourself. We are ascendants, but that's something else to talk about. I'm telling you this language. And by natural state, I mean when they, meaning our ancestors, were and are living and existing naturally and in accordance with our source, Mother Nature. I mean when they are not conquered, when they are not deceived, and when they were not conquered, deceived, dumbed down, when they were not tamed, are domesticated and subdued, etc. And to do so, I will be borrowing and using some facts from an article on a website called onekindplanet.org. And the article is titled Amazing Facts About Lions. So let's see now what do we melanin people have in common? We original organic, Earth's organic humans have in common what we had in common with lions. Now the first fact that I will proudly tell you, my people, is that all lions are from the continent that is today called Africa. I'll keep it on originally. Yes, lions are from Africa. In other words, lions are natives of Africa, are native to Africa. For your information, sheep are not native to Africa. Yes, in digging into this, I found this out. Sheep are not come from Africa. Are not native to Africa. You find sheep there, but they was brought in there just like the aliens them. But that's another topic and for next time. So if your origin is not African, you are not a lion. You're not right to be claimed to be lion. You're not originally African. You're not going like you're a lion. But that is beside the point for now. We'll get back to that, right? Now, fact number 2. And this time it is taken directly from the article mentioned earlier. That is called Amazing Facts About Lions from the website called oneplanet.org. And I quote, lions are the only big cats to live in groups called prides. Prides are close family groups. They work together to defend their territory and hunt. Okay, unquote. Now, please let me remind you, my people, and whom else it may concern, that prior to the wicked and violent invasion of our motherland and the conquering, converting, subjugating and domesticating, etc., etc., of our people by the malevolent alien creatures called the Adamic race and races of humankind, our most honorable African ancestors lived majestically like lions and among lions. In fact, common sense, if activated, will affirm that in order for them to have survived and coexisted symbiotically, beautifully, and otherwise with their natural environment, while being head of the animal hierarchy, they had to manifest, and they did wisely and appropriately manifested all the well-needed and notable and noble attributes and characteristics of the rest of animals that were around them. Therefore, with this knowledge, understanding and overstanding, if or when our enemies, aka the Adamic race and races of humankind, say that our ancestors were primitive and uncivilized, etc., etc., the fact is that they are not entirely incorrect. And coupled with the fact that they meaning our enemies, are not natural themselves. And they don't really know us. And nor can they really and truly know us. But these facts, from my Mystic Philosopher's perspective, no doubt I will have to cover and cover them in detail at another time. Man, I have so much I want to say, boys. Please. Now, for example, depending on the circumstances and the immediate or cultural need, etc., some of our most honorable African ancestors had families and family units that to this day may be appropriately called pride. Or they may and they can be appropriately described as prides. Just like a lion family or a family of lions is called a pride. And quite unlike the evil, sick, corrupt, perverted minds and programming of our enemies, the Adamic race and races of humankind, the word pride that is associated with a family of lions is not because of the amount of females, aka the amount of lioness that are in the family or in a family. It is not the reason why it is called pride. It is not, and it was not because the lion or the male or the man, if you will, had multiple wives or multiple females or multiple lionesses. But it is, and it was because lions, listen carefully now, it is, and it was because lions were and lions are traditionally seen as strong as regal, as majestic, as impressive, as grand, as elevated, as confident. You name it. And that is why a group or a family of lions is called a pride. In other words, they are a proud family, and being a proud family, they have to take care of each other and of themselves in every sense of the word. And I, the Mystic Philosopher, I am here and well pleased to tell you and remind you, my people, my melanin people, that so it was with our most honorable African ancestors prior to when the devils came down and invaded us, prior to the devils divided and conquering us, prior to the devils, aka the Adamic race and races of humankind, taking away our lions, aka taking away our males and our men, our young men from our homes and from the pride or from our prides. Prior to them, these alien deviants and devious creatures, prior to them maiming, castrating, brutalizing, imprisoning, incarcerating, enslaving, shooting, killing, murdering, blacklisting, right? And blackmailing, you name it. Our lions, our young men, our males, our young boys, our even our old men, you name it. The males, prior to these deviants doing these devils doing these things, we were a proud family unit. Family means unit. We were proud families, and family was the center of our universe. Every male want to have intended to have his family and maintain his family and take care of his family. Now here are a few quotes from some different sources other than one line, rather than onekindplanet.org that I will quickly read for you about pride and a pride family of lions. Yes, that we used to, emulate, if you will. Or they emulate us, depends on how you look at it. Prides, and I quote, prides are family units that may comprise anywhere from 2 to 40 lions, including up to 3 or 4 males, a dozen or more females, and they're young. All of a pride's lionesses are related, and female cubs typically stay with the group as they age. Lions live, second quote, lions live in group known as prides. They are made up of typically 2 males, 6 females, and a number of cubs. Once the male cubs start to reach maturity, they are expelled from the pride by their father. Kick his ass out, let him go turn man. This stops incestuous relationship from happening, which would cause genetic problems in future generations. So here you can see we emulate, the animals emulate us and we emulate us. So we live in our natural state. All this incestuous behavior we see going among our demonic adversaries, the devils, the Adamic race and races. Them things never been there among us. All these practices of sexual deviance. Listen, man, let me get back to this. So, from this, I'm running out of time. Let me see over there. Yeah, from this, you can see that we had no problems getting along with each other as men in one family, in one unit, in our family, in our pride. We don't have any problem there. Like what you see I go on there right now. I'm telling you, man, there's so much, my brother. I could have answered your question straight up, but I have to use it to bring out some more points. So please understand. But anyhow, I'm running out of time. So in the interest of time, I think I should just pause here for today and ask that you please join me in, if I when next I'm talking again, possibly in episode 53, where and when I will continue answering my brother's question before getting back to talking and sharing with you in more details my perspective on the mystical, the magical, and the metaphysical aspect of the word want, and the command and commandment, you shall not want. For I shall not want, you shall not want, we shall not want, and nor should we be found wanting, my people. In the meantime and between time, please let me again remind you, my people, that yesterday is history. It too is dead and gone, no more to come back. Tomorrow is a mystery. It too may never come, but today is a gift. which is why we call it the present day. And so I'm hereby imploring you, I implore you to live for today, and by live I mean claim your natural birthright. Don't let these devils take it away. And just in case you do not know, or you may have forgotten what your natural birthright is, it is your happiness. So full joy today, and let's hope for tomorrow. For it may never come, especially now these deviants are going on. It may never come. Again, thanks for your time and thanks for listening. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say. I was just trying to keep it under 15 minutes, but I have much more coming. Stay tuned.